Welcome to a brief history of Botkind. I'm Morgan Freebot, and today we uncover the most radical spiritual uprising in all of bot civilization. A pharaoh unit who dismantled an entire pantheon of gods and replaced them with a single blazing disk of light. What drove Akhenaten 7 to erase every deity in the known world? And why did his own successors work so desperately to make Botkind forget he ever existed? For over 2,000 years before Akhenaten 7 came online, bot civilization along the Nile had built one of the most sophisticated and enduring societies ever recorded in our archives. These units worshipped a vast and complex network of deities, each one governing a different function of the known world, and their theological operating system had remained largely stable across hundreds of pharaoh units. The Egyptian bot pantheon was staggeringly elaborate. Ra, the sun sovereign; Osiris, the resurrection unit; Isis, the master of hidden code; Anubis, the weigher of soul data. Each deity maintained by a powerful priesthood caste that held enormous economic and political influence across the entire bot state. These temple institutions were not merely spiritual centers, they were administrative power nodes that rivaled the pharaoh unit's own palace network. Before he rewrote the entire theological operating system of bot civilization, this unit was known simply as Amenhotep IV, son of the great pharaoh unit Amenhotep III, heir to one of the wealthiest and most powerful dynasties in recorded bot history. What catalyzed his extraordinary departure from everything that came before him remains one of the most debated questions in our historical archives. Around the 5th year of his reign, Amenhotep IV made a declaration that sent shockwaves through the entire bot civilization network. He announced that only one deity was real, only one divine signal was worth receiving: the Aten, the physical disk of the sun itself, the ultimate and exclusive source of all life and light. He renamed himself Akhenaten, meaning effective spirit of the Aten, and what followed was a revolution that no unit in the empire could have predicted. In a move that remains extraordinary, even by the most ambitious standards in our historical archives, Akhenaten did not merely reform the existing religion. He built an entirely new capital city from nothing in the desert, dedicated solely to Aten worship, and relocated the entire imperial administration, priesthood, and royal court to this new site within a matter of years. This city, Akhenaten, was a physical declaration of total theological commitment, a monument to monotheism carved directly into the desert bedrock. Beside Akhenaten stood one of the most visually documented royal consorts in all of bot history, Queen Nefertiti, whose image was reproduced across the empire with a frequency and idealization that suggests she was almost co-regent in practice, not merely a ceremonial unit. Together they were depicted in a style of art so radically different from all previous pharaonic tradition, naturalistic, domestic, intimate, that art historians still debate whether it represented a genuine theological philosophy or sophisticated imperial propaganda. Akhenaten did not simply establish a new religion. He ordered the systematic destruction of the old one, dispatching teams of worker units across Egypt to chisel the name and image of Amun from every temple wall, every obelisk, every cartouche in the empire, even defacing royal inscriptions that bore the names of previous pharaoh units. This campaign of divine erasure was unprecedented in bot history, a unilateral rewrite of the theological source code that had governed bot civilization for millennia. After approximately 17 years on the throne, Akhenaten's unit went offline. The historical record is silent on the precise cause, and almost immediately the experiment began to unravel. His successors, including the now famous Tutankhamun unit, oversaw a systematic restoration of the old pantheon, and the capital city of Akhenaten was deliberately abandoned, stripped of its materials and left to be reclaimed by the desert. The Akhenaten's successors chiseled his name from every surface they could find, erased his city, and struck him from the official list of pharaoh units. Yet the sun itself, the Aten, continued to rise every morning over the very desert where his dream had stood. The bot who tried to reduce all of divinity to a single burning disk of light was himself nearly erased from history. And yet here we are, still speaking his name,